It's time. The season is changing. Hockey's starting. It's finally getting cool again. If you needed to make something like a cornbread loaf that would satisfy both American and Canadian taste, I thought about making one half batch that would be both honey sweet corn and the other half flavored. Are you ready for this? I'll put my stick down. It wouldn't be Canadian if it didn't have some Montreal Steak seasoning. And how about a little hint? Are you ready for this? Of liquid smoke. So let's just dive right in. Ooh, this almost looks like a face-off. I've got the American side of ingredients over here, such as some honey, our traditional Jiffy corn muffin mix, a can of, this is whole kernel corn, we'll drain one of those, and a can of cream style corn. I found this in the back of the pantry, so I'm just going to use up what we have. Between both components, but both sides of the flavors, we're going to really butter this up. Now, rather than using butter, I'm using a margarine. Whatever you have, right? Be happy and have joy in your kitchen. Don't stress. The whole point of this cornbread is something that's, comfort food. On the Canadian side of things, I've got the same Montreal Steak spice and our liquid smoke, which I'm going to add last before these get baked. I've got some quail eggs. You're going to need about 2 eggs, depending on whatever you have. It took a while just to collect these. Our little birdies are starting to slow down somewhat, so that's one reason why my video is a little later than usual. So I'm going to get cracking. Whoopsies. Total Canadian moment. I dropped the egg in the shell. Okay. At least it didn't drop in the yolk. Okay. There. Isn't that pretty? That's almost like art. So before I blend these up, I thought this would be a dandy time to do a quick shout out to a friend, Asa. I want to say thank you again for a happy gift, which also shares and shows the answer to my last trivia question. Name that layer. It's Matsundin. So there you have it. The answer to the last video's question. This is Matsundin of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I thought, what a great opportunity to, this is also where I keep my recipes now. So I'm just going to prop it up for the rest of the video. And I'll let you enjoy watching this. Okay, I'll get back to blending up the eggs and getting rid of that little tiny shell that happens. Okay, well, that's just how it is, keeping it real. Remember about those 2 sticks of margarine and butter? These need to be melted. So I would recommend, while one thing's happening, work on the next step. They will blend so much better with the corn muffin mix and those, well, be careful doing it. That'll do. Now microwave these on low power, just 10 seconds at a time. And those little wrappers, they're kind of handy. Just go over the pan real quick. We'll set this aside. This is what I do. Okay, same thing over. All right, let me know in the comments section below what you like to listen to while you're waiting for your food to bake in the oven. Now for this recipe, it's a bit of a modification. If you have whole kernel corn, doesn't matter, different places. I got this at Winco, just where you have it, and Walmart. The whole corn, this is packed in extra water, so we don't need that. We'll just drain these real quickly into the nice Tupperware container. You might recognize this. I hope you like this. It's a spare one, so when I haven't foiled my Stanley cup, this is what I strain. All right, let's strain. Strain it well. Now we'll also need some dairy product to make this beautiful and creamy. This is a small little container of sour cream. We need to consider this is a temperature sensitive item. So we're going to add all our liquid ingredients all together first and then just let it warm up to room temperature. We're going to add our dairy. That warm butter is going to help. That's a strategy. All right, I'll get a smaller little spoon and get that out. Ooh. Do science, warming things. Now we can swish that. That's a lot of butter. Okay, let's get the full benefit of this sour cream. All right, there we go. I'm just sharing you what I've learned so you feel better in the kitchen too. Adding the butter. Now I'm hand mixing this. You could use a hand mixer, but you don't really need to whip it. The eggs, on the other hand, are a different story. We're going to add those slowly in. Those are well beaten eggs. So the bigger puff that you make your eggs, that does have a nice effect on the overall texture of whatever it is you're subsequently baking. Beautiful, just like that. Next, we'll add the liquid egg. Okay, so far everything's the same for both mixtures, whether it be Canadian or American. And I use my around the bowl technique. If you've watched my other videos, this is the best method. See the little bubbles? That more frothy foam that's created holds back any of those small little shells. So you're guaranteed practically getting eggshells rather in your mix. Okay, might as well use science to your advantage. Ha 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 ha. Right? And that little bit, don't worry about it. That is really your 2 eggs. Next, the corn. And yes, there's my little corn dog. Oh, he's got a story. Whole corn and the cream corn now go in together. So that's 2 cans of corn, or the whole corn. Yes, there we go. Solid. Let that corn enrich itself. This is going to be so good. I promise I won't tell you any funny, corny jokes, but it's always good to have a few when you're having this. All right. That's looking good. All right, this is the Great Value cream style corn going in next. Put it all in. Going in next. It's a little more yellow, lighter color. There. Let's give this a good stir. Now, you can cook this year-round. Right. Whoops, my dog just fainted. There we go. Now, the only thing missing is the Jiffy Muffin mix. That now goes in, and then we have our master blend of everything. I have 2 boxes here because I want a nice loaf. Suggestion, make certain when you purchase your Jiffy Muffin mix, expiration date hasn't gone past. Now, if it has, I can't guarantee this will work for you. However, you can make a little batch of muffins with this and it'll be okay. They just won't rise as much. I think I'll make a tea. You know, get my Dougie filled up with his little tea and get him started. 2 loaves, two packs, little at a time. The results will be much better. And if you find that there's lumps in your box, once you get half of your mix out, you can kind of loosen up the last bit. There, see? Easy trick. Okay, so quick recap. we have 2 of pretty much everything to make 2 beautiful cornbread loaves. Comfort food, quick, easy, fast, really relatively economical. Okay, now if you, for whatever reason, could substitute using corn flour for this, I've seen recipes that do that. Just use what you have and experiment. There, it's all stirred in. I let this rest so that anything that might still be in a little crumb can open itself up and rehydrate, do what it needs to do in the overall mixture before we pour the loaves. So just setting that aside, I thought I'd share with you my little dog. This is Rover. I put some tea bags on the inside. Now I like a strong tea, and I have found that if you have a little tea infuser, sometimes the tea will actually escape the little pores. So I self-contain my tea, put it in there like that. Okay, that's like 3. Sometimes I put 4 bags. It depends on the brand of tea. So I'm going to put little Rover in and give him a bath. Put him in my cup, just like that, right? All right, and put him on water, hot water. Now he has a bath. There, now you know how I make my tea. This is rested. This should be fine. It's been 4 or 5 minutes. I had the timer on. This is the moment. I'm going to then split equally into 2 batches. I'm going to add honey to this batch and then bake it. And then I'm going to add the other seasonings, the Canadian seasonings, to the other batch. So 50-50. Yeah, a little bit. Eyeball it. Now the sweet American corn one, I'm going to use 3 tablespoons of honey. Now you could use less, but I like honey, and my family likes the sweetness of honey. Roughly. Oh, beautiful. Okay, that's 1. Ooh. Oh, goodness. That's a lot of goodness. There's goodness in this. And I'm going to use a... Ooh, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving this year. Unless, of course, you had Thanksgiving already, you know. You can always make this towards Christmas time when the weather gets even that much cooler. Woo. Okay, so this is it. Look at that beautiful golden honey in there. Oh, with love and sprinkles of joy on it. Oh, I see my little doggy. Oh, he's taking a bath. I think the tea is done. Tea is done. Okay, I'll get Rover out of there. Yes, he's rolling over now. We'll pour this into our bread pan carefully. Last step on the American loaf. Black pepper is a big deal. Oh my goodness. Ah, oops. Okay, moving it along, keeping it real. It's one of those twisty kind. All right, and put a little bit of cracked pepper on the top. Of course, when it's turned out of there, you're not even going to see it, but you'll have the flavor. Yay! Now's the time to make the Canadian version, the one that I make. That is so delicious. Now, instead of regular salt and pepper, you're going to use Montreal Steak seasoning. It wouldn't be Canadian without little Montreal Steak spice. And again, I'm using a half a teaspoon. You wouldn't want to do any more than that for this portion. And to this, we are adding, but a little bit goes a long way. Having experimented before without having an 1/8 of a teaspoon measurer, I used the cap, half a cap. Half a cap is really all you need. Whoops, it looks like I've almost done it again. That's okay. It's nice and hickory. Oven to heat up. I'll finish stirring this in. And if you like my video so far, maybe give it a gloves up. Maybe better yet, even share it with that hockey friend or someone you know that just like to make some comfort food, or maybe they need some comfort food and you can make them. That would really help my channel along and continue to grow. So thank you. Ooh, that liquid smoke. Ooh, this is going to taste like it was cooked on back of a barbecue. It'll cook for about 45 minutes or less. Check it. If the light in your oven doesn't work, you have to check it. The light in my oven does not work at the moment, so I have to peek in there often. All right, we're going to pour this into our tray. Ooh, this one's going to be a slightly bigger loaf than the other one, but that's okay. Okay, look at that. Now that has the hickory smoke and the Montreal Steak seasoning. That is the Canadian cornbread loaf. These are now going into the oven. And as it is Thanksgiving, a little reminder, safety first. Consider clearing around your oven and having a fire extinguisher. Can you pass the test? How to use a fire extinguisher? PASS. If you're not sure, I shared this in my last video. Remember, point at the fire. That's the P. A, aim at the base of the fire. That's after you pull the pin, of course. Squeeze and sweep at the base of the fire. PASS. Be safe and have a good Thanksgiving. These are going in the oven for about 45 minutes or until they are golden brown. Oh, oh boy. Oh, there's the honey pepper one. That's nice. Oh, all right. Time for our tea. Where's Rover? I gotta take Rover out. Usually in a tea, you have the milk and the sugar first, but this way I have to add it afterwards. Etiquette. Don't scallywag the sugar spoon. Keep them separate. Okay, a little bit of sugar. You might be wondering, well, what does that mean? Don't put the wet spoon back in the sugar. It makes clumps and it's messy for the next person. Oh, this is how I have tea otherwise. Ooh, that's a good color. Right. We'll be back when this is done and we'll have a taste together. Oh, look at that. It's cooled just a little bit. You see how nice and soft it is. I'm going to cut a slice. We'll have one together. Now the whole goal is to have something that appeases everyone's taste. So here, let's try the Canadian one first. Cheers. Look at the texture. See how fluffy it is still? It's not overly eggy. It's lovely. It's puffy. Beautiful. This is beautiful. I can't wait to try the honey pepper one next. That is very good. Next, again. See how nice, fluffy the texture is? And the corn is distributed throughout. It's not like all on the bottom. Put a little butter on this. Ooh, that's nice. The honey that's in this makes it pop. Use honey. Don't be shy. Use honey. It's good for you anyways. Now remember we put pepper on the bottom? Barely tasty. I'd say this is a good option. Something that you can make and nibble on in the week even. Cheers. I'm going to just finish this off. Well, that's it for today. And thank you for joining me in my little kitchen. If you like this recipe, I'll put it in the description below. Don't forget, There's more here if you're interested in comfort foods like this. And always feel free to leave me a message. Until next time, au revoir. Ooh, time for another piece.